Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Andrew. Andrew is from New York City. So let's see what Andrew has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Andrew. I'm very well. How are you doing today?
I'm good, William. What's going on?
How was your visit to the museum?
It was wonderful. I have lived in New York for going on 21 years, and the pandemic taught me a lesson about really appreciating the city that you live in. It feels like people move to New York and they absorb all there is, culture, nightlife, everything, and then they reach a level of success, whatever that means, and then they don't take advantage of all these city capitals have to offer. So I made a vow that when I'm in the city, I always will appreciate her in a much deeper level.
Amazing, Andrew, amazing. And saying that, what's the best part of living in New York, in your opinion?
Because there's every walk of life here, and that's what makes this planet beautiful.
And that's where you've been raised as well? You're born there, you've been raised or not?
No, I grew up on a farm in Oklahoma. But I've lived here longer than I ever lived in that small town.
Amazing, Andrew. And tell me a little bit, what do you do for a living?
I play a couple of different roles. I own a public relations firm and I represent architects, interior designers, and luxury home furnishings. And my side hustle is I'm a contributing editor also in the design and architecture space for a magazine called Aspire Design and Home.
I see. And tell me a little bit about your company, how everything started out.
Well, I started out in publishing. My first job in New York was at Vanity Fair. And after Vanity Fair, I was at Allure magazine. But mind you, that was 21 years ago. I was in fashion and beauty. I did fashion and beauty PR for about 6 years. Loved it while I did it, but then I really hit a wall where if I had to talk about where your hemline was supposed to be or what color was supposed to be on your cheekbone one more time, I was going to kill myself. So I found myself, at a 30-something midlife crisis where I knew I liked doing public relations, but I wasn't quite sure what direction I wanted to go, and I knew it wasn't fashion. So I found a job at another firm that was in the architecture and design space, and I just immediately felt at home and in love with the industry.
Amazing. Andrew, so before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, I was checking a little bit your profile on Facebook, on social media, and I saw a phrase there that got my attention. And I would like to start the interview with this phrase. I'd like to tell me a little bit about it. You say there, the only way to avoid pissing people off is to do nothing important. Tell me a little bit about this phrase.
I find myself to be a very authentic and outspoken person. And sometimes people don't like that. And at 51 years old, which is the age I'm in, I don't care anymore. I have, I think I have good ethics. I have standards that I live by. And if people don't like them, I don't care. Don't care.
Amazing. Yeah, I think just when the older you get, you don't pay attention anymore in other people, what they think, what what I mean, what people judgmental things. You just live your life the way you should be, the way you think is the right way of living. Totally agree.
I have I hope my client doesn't listen to this. But I have a client that I actually admire and like very much. And he was trying to give me advice about maybe not being so politically outspoken or forward frontal about Black Lives Matter or about social justice issues. And this client is from Texas, and he plays a very neutral game. I'm in New York, and I'm an outspoken. It's important. If you don't have your voice heard, things don't work the way they should.
Amazing. Right, Andrew. So are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point? Amazing. So welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my friends, full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a little bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay, Andrew, so just before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change, okay? It's all very friendly, okay?
I'm pretty much an open book.
Great. You are in the right place. First question for you is, who in your family you trade places with and why?
Who would I trade places with?
Yeah, let's say for 24 hours, just for one or another reason. Why?
My deceased grandmother. She was the matriarch of the family. She was my biggest inspiration, and I guess seeing life through her eyes for a day would be nice.
Amazing. Very good. Next question for you. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me how the design industry, the fashion came into your life. When you start your passion about it?
I was always very, I had a flair for expression through clothing from a very young age. My grandmother, who was very influential, also owned a clothing store. I thought at one point that I wanted to be a fashion designer, but I just didn't quite have those skills.
So that's how everything starts your passion.
Yeah.
Next question for you is, what is a negative thing that happened to you that came out as a positive thing in the end?
Growing up in rural Oklahoma as a teenager, being openly gay was absolutely torturous. I was bullied tremendously, but now that I am older, I know that gave me a really thick skin and helped me become the tough as nails person as I am today.
Saying that, Andrew, back then, did you have the support of your family being gay?
Yes. Fortunately, yes. I mean, they thought if I went out for football, things might change, but they quickly learned that wasn't going to be the case.
The day when you came out, walk me through the day when you came out. Like something happened, or you just genuinely thought, okay, that's the day where I just need to be myself and just open up about my sexuality?
I think I was always very expressive. But I think I officially came out when I was like 11 or 12. And it was just a conversation.
See, very good.
Yeah.
Next one, let's do it. Andrew from New York, next question for you is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they get married?
Oh God. Financial security. I guess.
And why is that?
I'm not sure I want to elaborate.
Okay. All right. Next question. Let's do it. Andrew, next question for you is, are you a cat or a dog person?
Dog.
Dog?
Dog, for sure.
Always been?
Always, always.
And the second part of the question is, if you could be an animal, which one that would be and why?
A giraffe.
Why?
I think they are a symbol of evolution in a really beautiful and graceful way.
Beautiful. Actually, I had a guest the other day on the show, and he said the same thing as well about your giraffe, the beauty
Really?
of. And yes.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
yeah, he was saying about, and he said that the imagination, the way when you see a giraffe, you know what I mean, the way they express themselves is something like unique. It's just Next one, let's do it. Andrew, before the next one, tell me what's the best part of your job? And of course, there's always a challenging part as well. What that would be?
That the nature of public relations means that you're always working through cycles and no day ever feels the same. And that's the beauty of my work. The diversity.
And what's the most challenging part?
Getting clients to pay on time. Period.
It can be a challenge.
Yes.
Next question for you is...
And love to those people that always do pay on time.
Oh dear. Next question is, if you could meet yourself when you were 15 years old again, which advice would you give to yourself?
It's gonna be okay. It's totally gonna work out. And you're gonna have an amazing ride.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Next question, Andrew. Let's do it. Next question for you is, which book had a big influence on you?
Tales of the City, the Armistead Maupin books. I was given to me by a friend, a very, very close friend, when I did a small stint in San Francisco. And it was just the tale of these people's lives and how they explored their surroundings and how their surroundings molded their characters. I think that those books are beautiful.
And what's the biggest message you took out of the book?
Live life authentically.
Good one. Ready for another one?
Yep. And you can always hang your free cat high.
Next question, Andrew, for you is, what is the happiest day in your life so far, and why you consider that?
That's really difficult because I feel like I've had lots of happy days. I'll go with there's lots of happy moments that I can count on, but I think some of the most happiest moments are when I'm in my garden in upstate New York. I feel very at peace when I'm gardening. I feel very centered. I feel close to the earth. I'm a very type A, go personality. And the gardening time is kind of like my meditation.
And when you think about your childhood back in Oklahoma, what's the best memory that comes to your mind when you think about?
Imaginative play with my next door neighbor. I remember building forts out of boxes and just letting that creativity flow through you, I think were the happiest moments of my childhood.
Do you have siblings as well?
Yes, I do.
All back there.
I have a sister in Nashville. I have my youngest sister married her high school sweetheart, and they farm all the family land.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Next question, Andrew. Let's do it. Before the next one, of course, you said how much you appreciate living in New York, but what is the most challenging part?
Well, now my partner and I have had a weekend home in the Hudson Valley since 2017, and on March 13th, 2020, when the world took a turn, we migrated to the Hudson Valley, and work and life requires me to be part of New York City life now. So I am here in I'm in New York City now, and I'm heading back to the Hudson Valley later this evening. So now, like, the first night that I spent in Manhattan was May of 2021. And it was so invigorating. It felt like I was on a vacation. It was new. And now it feels like I kind of live out of a suitcase because I'm always on the go.
Wow, interesting. Okay, next question is, what is something not many people know about you?
That I'm a very sensitive person. I think people probably know that, but I put on a really tough game.
As they say, the most strong people, they are the most sensitive as well at the same time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one.
Okay.
Let's do it. Next question for you is, what season of the year you feel more connected with, and why?
Fall, because of its vibrant colors.
Is your birthday around fall as well?
No, it's in August.
Yes, I love the fall as well. And once I heard that you feel very connected with the season when you were born. And for me, it works perfectly because my birthday is in November and I've always been connected with the fall. Beautiful.
I have to say that my whole relationship to nature has changed radically through COVID, because I spent most of my time in the Hudson Valley on 4 acres in a clearing in the middle of a forest with no neighbors in sight anywhere. And being in one place for that amount of time, I have never done since I was a child. And seeing how time flows has shifted in me in a very significant way and in a very poignant way.
And when we are spending some time over there, do you miss the buzz of New York?
Yes. I feel like I absolutely have the best of both worlds. I am fed by this urban energy, but I'm also comforted by the nature and the quiet and it's really the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. And your partner, for sure, he loves the same as well. He likes the both ways of living.
My partner hasn't been back to New York since March 13th of 2020, not once.
Oh, wow.
And it's unclear whether or not he will ever come back. I really do not know.
Wow. Beautiful. Next question. As when you're talking about your partner, I could see your eyes shining. So far, what is the most beautiful lesson you've learned from him?
He keeps me real and accountable. Yeah.
Good one. Next question is, what are 3 fun facts about yourself?
Generous. Strong and caring.
Did you always have this approach of, let's say, of being a very confident person, Andrew?
No, I was not confident at all. As I mentioned, my teenage, I had a very vibrant and fun childhood. The teenage years when, being gay in a small town in Oklahoma were torture. And it didn't make me believe in myself. I think it really took me to come to New York to really face my Peter Pan complex and grow the up. Because this city is completely unforgiving. Like, you got to give it your all or you're not going to make it here.
Wow. Next one. Let's do
it.
Before the next one, when I was checking a little bit your website, and I could see that you do some work in Europe as well, and in Brazil, yeah?
Yep.
Why Brazil?
Well, I have not actually been to Brazil. I was scheduled to go on a press trip to Brazil in March of 2020, but we all know what happened then. But I work with a Brazilian organization called the Raise Project, and it supports makers and designers of Brazilian furniture and case goods and ceramics and glass and every encounter I've had with a Brazilian person they seem to be warm and giving, beautiful people. So I'm hoping that I will eventually get there. No, I'm not gonna hope. I know that I will eventually get there.
Amazing, very good.
Are you Brazilian?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Where from?
Northwest is a state called Mato Grosso, northwest of Brazil, near Brasilia, the capital, in the middle of Brazil.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
So yeah, and I've been living in England in Europe for the last 20 years now. My God.
What brought you to Europe?
You have another hour? I'm joking. The main language, the main reason, Andrew, was the language. I started studying English when I was 12 years old, and I fell in love for the language since then. But of course, Brazilian people will always have this American dream. We have this tendency to go to America, yeah? So that was my dream as a teenager. I want to live in America, I want to live in New York, I want to live in the USA. It's a different reality when it comes to, to documents, to, my parents at the time, they couldn't afford to help me to live in the US. Long story short, I had the opportunity to live in Portugal for 5 years, but I always want to live in a country where the mother language is English. So it's very funny how life directs you in a direction that you're not expecting. I never thought one day live in Portugal. I never thought one day live in London. And here I am, and London is home for me now. So yeah, that's a little bit of my story, how I got to England.
Very nice.
Thank you.
It's interesting where life takes you.
Totally, absolutely. And sometimes as well, it feels like being in London feels home. I meant to be here, I love being here. It's just the best place. Next question for you is, what was your best name growing up? What was your best friend's name growing up? And why did you consider this person as your best friend at the time?
Her name was Renee. She was my next door neighbor. And what's interesting is she ended up being a lesbian, and I was obviously a gay. And I don't know if that was part of our connection, but I just remember, playing and pretending, and it felt like a magical childhood.
I tell you something I'm not going to believe. My first love was a girl. Yes, her name is Larissa. And actually, she's a lesbian as well. But at the time, actually, I was in love with her. She was my first love.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting how, of course, when you are a teenager, love for you is a different way of love as an adult. Yeah. I didn't feel enough like sex attraction to her, but I just loved being around her. I just had these butterflies around you know, my belly when she was around, and she was so nice to be around. And there you go. When I became a teenager, like old days, I find out that she was a lesbian, and it's very interesting how. Right. Next one.
Okay, ready.
Andrew from New York. Next question is, what is your funniest memory of your time at school?
It's time at school. Does college count?
Yes, it does. You can.
So my very first college experience, I went to Chicago, and my grandparents who were helping me pay for college had said that I really needed to leave my car in Oklahoma because there was public transit in Chicago. But when I got to Chicago, I really wanted my car. So 2 friends and I hitchhiked from Chicago to rural Oklahoma to get my car. And I would never do that in a million years, but I hitchhiked. It was an adventure of a lifetime.
Did your grandmother find out afterwards?
Oh yeah. And wasn't happy, but it happened.
Right. I have 3 questions left for you, okay, Andrew?
Okay.
Let's do it. But before the next one, tell me, when your clients, they come after your job, after your company, what they expect? What's the main reason they come after your?
Well, we're a full service agency. We do traditional public relations, we do social media, we do business development, we do marketing, we do branding, we develop websites, and how we service our clients is based on their goals and objectives. It's really different across the board. For some clients, it's full service, and for some clients, it's only social media. It's really all over the place.
I see. Next question is, what keeps you up at night?
Ukraine.
Oh.
I remained pretty positive and upbeat throughout the pandemic. I had a couple of breakdowns here and there, but mostly I was very positive because I feel like, this is a temporary bump in our lives. And the whole Ukraine situation is tearing me up inside. Images of children being put on trains and their parents staying and fighting for their rights is just, you can tell it rips my soul apart.
Oh dear, yes, I think the whole world is broke down right at the moment. It's so sad to see this happening right now. Do you know what I mean? In this era,
it's absolutely senseless.
It is. Anyway, let's hope for better days and let's be positive. I think let's send positive vibes to the world. And I think nowadays, people, they are so connected, even more with social media. And now we can speak, we can connect, we can show our love, we can send positive vibes, and we can do the most we can to support those, people that are suffering so much at the moment.
Yes.
Sorry you got upset about that.
Oh, it happened.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 2 questions left for you, okay, Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Next question for you is, what is your spirit animal?
A tiger. Fierce.
Why?
I remember a phrase from a book, and I can't remember exactly how it's said, but if you find yourself in a corner, I'll be the tiger that is there. That just seems, they're beautiful, elegant creatures and very powerful.
Beautiful. Andrew, ready for the last one?
I'm ready. What's the last question?
You are. Let's do it. Last question. But before the last question, in your opinion, of course, as we were talking before, since 2020, March 2020, the world literally went upside down with the COVID crisis. Yeah. For you personally, what has been the biggest impact in a positive way in your life, in your jobs, in your business, and what's the most negative impact that's brought to you?
I find myself to be a very positive and a very positive thinker, and this is probably not going to sound very positive. It sounds rather miserable, but I think what COVID taught us, for anyone that lives for the rest of their years, that we constantly are going to be in a world that is changing with the climate disaster that we are living through, that people are not accepting. It is going to change the world. And I think COVID taught us that this is the beginning of a very rapidly changing world.
And in a positive way, what it brought to you when you think about?
To expect change, to expect constant change.
See. Last question for you.
Yes, sir.
Who do you count the most for help?
It's interesting. I was working with a business coach before COVID, and one thing she told me is that I should never be friends with my clients, and I should never be friends with people that work for me. And at the time I was like, okay, I understand that. Surviving a pandemic and growing a business and becoming very successful in a pandemic, I love the people that work for me like they are children. And my client, Sarah Von Driel, I consider to be one of my most important confidants. We've grown her business together. I count on her to be the adult in the room. And yeah, it's my friend Sarah Von Driel.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give up some words and just tell one word that comes to your mind.
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Family.
Ones that you make after that are not blood.
One word for money.
Cash.
Love.
Paul, my partner.
Sweet. One word for life.
Unexpected.
One word for sex.
Me. I always have the best sex with myself.
Wow, I love that. Politics.
Insane.
Religion.
I don't believe it.
Fear.
Religion.
Friendship.
The beauty of life.
Desire.
Carnal.
Regret.
Always.
Success.
Believing in yourself.
One word for wish.
Peace on earth.
One word for happiness.
Inside.
One word for Oklahoma.
Backwards.
I'm not gonna go into details, okay? I'll leave there. One word for New York.
The most beautiful place on earth.
And the last one now, USA.
Troubled.
Right. Let's pretend I'm gonna go to that place where your your partner is now, very calm, very relaxed. I'm gonna go there to meet him for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, tell me the most beautiful thing about Andrew, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What he would say.
Hardworking and genuine, and things that I need to work on. To give him more attention.
Some work in progress?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's play. Sorry, you'd say?
No, it's all good.
Let's play now, Andrew, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, Andrew, people they come up to you, say how beautiful your voice is, or how it's different, and how you know what I mean? You've got this rocky, beautiful voice. Do people they come up to you to do that, to say that to you, or not?
No, not really.
Interesting. Okay.
But it is. I will say this. I feel like at 51, I've got more eyes and attention on me. Like, people flirt with me now more than they ever have in my entire life. I don't know if it's the daddy thing. I don't know, but I like it. It's complimentary. It's nice.
Beautiful. It's because you are more confident with yourself. You know what I mean? The age come, people we get to know ourselves better than, and you know what I mean, than before. So why people even they don't know you, they can feel it, the vibe. They can see it.
Yeah.
You can ask me a question now.
Okay, I am gonna cheat, and I'm gonna ask you two questions. One, what inspired you to create this program?
Okay, so this genuine project within the Magic Box, it's something that I always want to do. You know what? Like I'm talking to you, I can see how much you love your job, how much you appreciate every day. I always admire people like you, who people always stand up, say, oh my God, I came to this world for this reason, for this. I wake up every day to go to work. I do I love what I do, this and that. I was always asking this question to myself. Of course, I think all of us, human beings, we can do different things, different areas. I think we are capable to do different things and still be happy, still enjoy it. But I always was asking myself, what I came to this world for? So this idea, Andrew, it's something that I always done as a teenager, as a child. I remember when I look back, I go like, oh, tell me something interesting about your childhood. Who was your favorite teacher? So this interaction I've always done in my life, through my life. I think the whole idea, the whole inspiration, I was trying to do something that I wake up every day, I go to bed every day thinking about, okay, that's something that I want to do for life. So the big inspiration, it's about being myself. It's about connecting with people. It's about it
feeds your creativity.
It does. And other thing as well, if I would see somebody else doing this, I would go like, oh my God, I would love to be doing that. So it's something that I could do for 24 hours. I could do like several interviews, because I forget that I'm recording. I forget that I'm doing interview. I feel like I'm talking to a friend. I feel like I'm connecting someone and learning as well. So that's the big inspiration, just about being myself.
Well, congratulations. I also love what I do, and I think that there is an ocean of our humanity that do not love what they do and does not feed their soul and their creativity, and we are the lucky gifted ones.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm cheating. I'm going to ask you one more question. What's your biggest fear?
Wow, now you put me in the spot now. My biggest fear. Okay, the genuine thing that came to my mind, it's let's say to finish my life without doing things that I'm meant to do, or to leave things behind. That's when I think about, my God, I remember the first, my mom, I got goosebumps now saying that. I brought my mom to Europe 4 years ago for her 5th birthday. Was the first time she been in a plane, was the first time she saw this sea in her life, was the first time that she left Brazil. And I'll never forget when we arrived in Portugal, because she flew to Portugal and I went to Portugal to pick her up. And I never forget her face, seeing the sea for the very first time. And that moment, I thought to myself, my God, if I would go right now, I would go happy, because I was privileged to see my mom face looking the sea for the very first time. Saying that, it's something that when I think about fear is to leave things without, you know what I mean, achieving, or leave people behind me, need me for some reason. So yeah, that's my biggest fear. But besides that, I'm fearless in a way.
Good. That's good. Well, William, I'm very pleased to get to know you, and I will see you in the social world.
For sure. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. But before you go, if you just can share a positive message or positive quote, something that inspires your life.
Live life to the fullest. Embrace it all.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much, Andrew. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.